Hi, I'm Kep Kepner CPA here in Dallas. A lot of my clients are people who are taking a second chance at business. They've tried some business, they've had a learning experience, and now they're going to try again. Quite frankly, when it comes to things like multi-level marketing, I'm in favor of everybody trying that. It doesn't work for a lot of people, but it gives somebody, for a fairly small investment, it gives them an idea of what they're up against trying to market their product. I'm sitting across from a guy who's very successful at that, but he's not like most of the other people that try it. So the idea of being in business for 500 bucks by buying a product and then going out and doing multi-level marketing or direct selling, I think it's a great learning experience. And for many people, it teaches them they don't want to do that. For the ones that make it, it works for them. That's great. So those that want to start again in a business, here are the things that they do that are different. Number one, they have a clear mission. They know what they're going to do. They have defined it. It's very clear in their mind. Clarity of your idea and your mission and focus on that gives you a leg up on most people that start business or are in business. So that's the first thing they do. The second thing they do is they recognize that they can't know it all. So they might be the leader of the team, but the team might not be employees. It might be their vendors. It might be their customers. It might be employees. It might be independent contractors. But they realize that they can't do it all. Many of our clients are ones that say, I know what I do best, and I want Kepner and Company to be my financial arm. So we make sure their financial records are in good stead. We educate them about how to use the financial statements and how to use them to grow their business profitably. The next thing that they do differently is that they begin to understand the importance of sales and marketing. There are a lot of businesses that have a product or a service, and because they're in love with it, they think everybody wants it. And that's really not the case. You might have found it odd that in some of my other videos I've talked about marketing, and here I am a CPA. The reality is anybody in business has to market their business and they have to sell their product or service. And you have to learn how to do that, because people often are not going to come running to your door and say, oh, let me buy this. Not all of us have developed an iWatch. So if you have an Apple Watch, well, maybe people do line up to buy those, but they're not lining up to buy CPA services. I have to find them, and I have to qualify them, and I have to understand what their real need is that would motivate them. I have to understand what I've got to do to make sure they get the absolute best in the financial arena from us. I have to understand what their tax strategies ought to be, so that they can either retire or save or in some way manage their financial life to their betterment. So learning that you don't know everything is a big part of that. They also begin to realize the importance of cash. If somebody offered you $100,000 to start your business, if you didn't know what you were doing, that money would be gone in short order. And you would think you spent it in the right way. There's a real great advantage of having cash in the bank. You know, people say, well, you don't want to have cash because you're not earning money on it. Well, all you have to do is look back about 10 years ago in the stock market when people were advising investors to sell their house or debt it up and put their money in the stock market. And of course it cratered, and they were left with bigger debt, barely own their house, in some cases not at all. It's because they didn't realize the importance of having cash. When you have cash, you have flexibility. You have the ability to do things that you wouldn't otherwise be able to do. So people who are doing it a second time understand more about the importance of cash. So the final thing that they know when they do it a second time is they have an understanding of the commitment that it takes to succeed. It's one thing to say, I'm going to be in business, for $25 you can go get 1,000 business cards. I hate to tell you, you're really not in business, okay? You've just got business cards. And so you understand, if you're going at it a second time, you understand the commitment that it takes for you to succeed. And that's different than the first time you tried it. The SBA quotes that 80% of all small businesses will be out of business in 5 to 7 years. I happen to believe that statistic is wrong, because I believe that an entrepreneur who starts out with one business and he's committed to be in business for himself and he makes some mistakes will morph that business into something else. Instead of selling insurance, he may move into the stock brokerage area or into the annuity area. He may sell those products. And if that doesn't work for him, he may still be in business, but he may go to different products. So I personally don't think that most businesses fail. I think the entrepreneur has a learning experience, and then they modify their business to do something else. And maybe they take a break for a year to go to work for somebody so they can get some finances under their belt, but they'll be back at it as an entrepreneur. So they know the commitment, and if you are an entrepreneur taking your second shot or your third or your fourth at that business that you know you should run, we can help you with that. Give us a call. Thanks.